It's early morning, and I'm like, okay. I again, it's not even early morning. It's almost fucking 11. It's almost 10 o'clock. Anyway, I'm having this like thought about parameters because that would constitute laws. The parameters set on any system is determined as by way of human perception as a law. So that's what you actually have to recognize. You have to recognize the parameters set, the objective parameters set on the system in which you um, are conditioned to, which is your physiology or nature, period. Nature itself sets the parameters. Okay, even better yet, law, the parameters set by an authority, all right, that cannot be, or if they are broken, there are consequences to them being broken. Or if they're exceeded, there's consequences to them being exceeded. The only thing that sets parameters with authority that has consequences if you exceed them outside of the human authority is nature. Like yesterday, we were talking about the fact we wanted to go to sleep. But our nature would not allow us to go to sleep because we had not we had not adhered to the parameters set for our nature to allow us to go to sleep. Nature is the only God that there is. That's objective. God, nature fulfills the metaphor of God because it's the only authority that sets parameters that have consequences if you succeed those parameters. The other thing I was thinking about was I posted a thing about Miko Kyaku talking about the marshmallow test and the relationship to intelligence. And he referred to humans as, you know what I'm saying, other than animal. And that's because of his world perspective. He's a physicist. Say that same conversation had been by Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins would have said, what separates humans from other animals is such and such and such and such, based upon his world perspective. Richard Dawkins' world perspective sees humans as animals, but a different type of animal that is set aside, that is set apart from other animals based upon certain characteristics. Miko Kyaku, being a physicist, just sees humans as a different type of, a different, apart from animals altogether. Because he's a physicist and he doesn't have the same biological viewpoint that fucking Richard Dawkins does. So that's what I was thinking about this morning. That it's crazy how our world perspective determines how not just how we view things, but how we experience things and how we describe the things that we experience. So I was just talking about that. I was just thinking about that. Parameters, man. Parameters set by an authority determines what a law is. The only thing that sets parameters that have consequences outside of man, like if I break the laws of man, there's consequences if I get caught. You understand what I'm saying? There's consequences if I get caught. If I break the laws of God, there are no consequences until I die, supposedly. Now, if I break the laws of nature, the consequences are immediate. I can't escape those. That's why I say the only entity that I am subject to in the universe, truly subject to, is nature. So nature can be the only thing that actually can fulfill the metaphor of my God. Now, what fulfills your God? Because psychologically speaking, there are parameters set by your God that if you breach those parameters, there will be consequences. But those are like psychological consequences, like what I'm saying, repression or so forth, and therefore anxiety. But those are things that you can overcome utilizing the laws that utilizing resources that nature has made available to you by way of your intellect. So the other God is only the other metaphorical being that we claim as God is only God as a result of our psychology. It's only God as far as our subjective interaction. The other God, nature, we are subject to it objectively, and there's nothing we can do about it. All right, except for maybe die, and then even the death is a point of our subjective nature to nature. Good morning, Faith.